Hello everyone and welcome to this special episode. I recently attempted a server first run on the new Wrath of the Lich King Realm of Shadows from Feenix. 20 times EXP rate server, and well, it was just yesterday. I was like, hey, why not share my experience, share my attempt, how well I did. As you can see, we are starting a bit ahead, level 17 already. So the problem was that my file got corrupted, and I recognized it at least early enough, otherwise the whole run would have been trash. So sorry, but you didn't miss much. Like, the first 17 levels were pretty easy, pretty straightforward. We got a head start since we are starting this as a hunter, and with the hunter quest line you get a ton of EXP, and that's why we did quite well at the start. And also, overall, it was a good run, but I don't want to spoil anything. Want to keep you on the edge, basically, on how well I did. I guess it's YouTube, so you can always just skip ahead if you want to know how well we did in the end. But here we go. This will be just sharing my experience, like overall how I felt about the quest EXP, how I felt about the server overall, about the launch, about my attempt and what I did wrong, what I could have done better, I guess. So here we go. As you can see, we still don't have a pet here, and this will lead to probably one of my biggest mistakes and one of my first ones as well. We attempt to tame this Scythe Claw right here. Unfortunately, we pull another one on the way, which is a huge issue. And then I was like, okay, maybe not try to pull two enemies, but if we pull one, we should be fine, right? So I'm going for this one right here. And the issue with this one was, and I'm not too sure if I can pause it in time, but this was basically one of a bit bugged out mobs. One of those that do some sort of shotgun mechanic, which basically means they attack really fast, like 3 times in a row. And I got dealt way more damage there than I would have expected. So I attempted the other one again because I knew, okay, this one wasn't bugged and this one was only a fail because I pulled another enemy there, and I was already like, okay, if this one won't go, then this whole run will be a huge fail and I can pretty much give up already. So here we go, one last attempt, and fortunately I was able to get the kill there, or not the kill, get the tame. And so yeah, here we go with our new companion. I'm heading over to Ashenvale for the reason that I was trying to get a bit ahead, and I already was, and I was trying to excel on that edge that we already had. So here you can see me already trying to get a few upgrades, a few macros. And so yeah, aspect of the Shepherd already on. Pretty amazing for a hunter overall, pretty straightforward stuff. The cool thing about this run was that the abilities were basically free. You could always just upgrade them. You didn't have to care about what do you get, like how efficient you should be with your choosing, because as it like on a 20 times rate server, you run out of money real quick, because like it only was EXP and not really loot or stuff like that. So yeah, money was very scarce, and so yeah, we had to on a few parts we had to be a bit more careful about that, but overall there wasn't really much where we had to be really efficient about our spending of gold, I guess. So here you can see me trying to attempt and already doing another mistake on the mob Sharp Talon. And with Sharp Talon, it's the way that it drops an item which is worth a ton of EXP, and especially like over Ashenvale there are a few more of those mobs, and if you do them all you get another quest which even provides you with even more EXP. So I really wanted to kill that guy, but I did another mistake there and just pulled too much, and well, another issue. And right now it's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty noobish, but trust me, I'm I'm improving myself along the run. This is really just, the start wasn't as great, unfortunately. We still were ahead. I think there was only like one hunter before us and a few other people like 2 or 3 levels below us. So by the way, talking of people, there were around like 360 on the start, so it's pretty abysmal for launch. I guess it's about well, Feenix is not so popular. Like the staff and everything, the people there, and the service that they provide, they have a pretty bad popularity, I guess, and in terms of, well, they are not that well liked, I guess I can put it that way, because of the things they do, because of Cashshops and stuff. But yeah, by the way, here's one of the other mobs that we needed for the quest. And so yeah, don't take this too serious, like this is by no means a serious speedrun. I mean, the XP rate is increased, and overall, well, it's Feenix. I probably won't play too much on the server, but this was just something I really wanted to do. It was like a race, just for fun, just for entertainment. So yeah, also killing Tanaris here. Nice thing about Ashenvale is there are a lot of quests that drop from enemy NPCs, and which provide you with a lot of EXP. So that's why we are going to Ashenvale as well, not only to basically get ahead from like trying to improve on our well, on our gap already, no, but also because of the nice quests that are there on the Horde side at least. And so here's the last one. Right after that I think I will hearthstone back to the post, and yeah, as you were able to see, there are a lot of EXP already jumping ahead to level 30, almost 31. And yeah, here is like my attempt to get Sharp Talon again, this time around on a bit higher level. And I really needed that enemy, because not only from his quest, but only the following one for killing basically all the enemies. And here's one of the things that pretty much also did hurt my run quite a lot, as this hunter as well. And I think he also attempted to be like server first, but apparently didn't have that good of a start. I think he was like still level 24 around that time. And I was like, please invite me, I really need that mob. And he was just like, nah. And well, just didn't invite me. He was like, nope, fuck you. And that did cost me a lot of EXP. I tried to make up for it by just killing a few more mobs around that area, but they were already cray. But I committed too much to this quest already. Maybe I should have just let it go at that point, but yeah, I really wanted to do it in the end. And yeah, so I walked a bit around, and just in the hopes we would be able to find it, but it did cost me around like 5 to 7 minutes, which is pretty much game breaking. Interestingly enough, I think by the path that we took here with the different animals and the hunter quest line, we still were quite ahead, to be honest. There were like 2, 3, 4 people in front of us. First and foremost, like a hunter who just played completely insane. Like this guy was ahead most of this let's play. Here I'm going for some bags. I'm going to just vendor a lot of stuff, and also trying to get a few more abilities. As you can see here, they don't really cost anything. I think I addressed that earlier, and you can just go for all of them. Aspect of the Shepherd, of course, being one of the best, especially if you improve it. I didn't go for a mount this run. Again, money is pretty much a really limited resource, since the rates are so high, but only for EXP, and everything else is pretty much the same, so you don't really make anything for the first 3 levels, and it's really hard to afford your mount. I think I still should have gone for it, to be honest, like at least the level 21, since it's rather cheap, especially like on a rough Lich King server. So I should have gone for it maybe, and in the end I think it would have paid out, to be honest, but we didn't. And I was like, okay, let's just, I mean, as you can see, we only have 60 silver right now, so I can't even really get it at the moment, but later maybe I should have gotten it. Anyway, we are in these Shimmering flats right now and just doing some grind quests. At this point I was pretty much ahead, besides like the hunter again, who was just up and away. I think I even spotted him around this area. Was like also the troll hunter, so I talked to him a few times, and was a very nice guy. And I was like, please go for yeah, short disconnect here. I think that was like a restart. So here we go, right back in. There were not that many crashes. I think around like 3 or 4 in general. So not a big deal. So yeah, I was like, please go for a death knight, so at least we can maybe have the hunter first realm achievement. But I think in the end there wasn't even such a thing. But yeah, he didn't go for it, and so I was already a bit demotivated. But I was like, hey, let's just pull through with this, you know. Let's not give up. Maybe something happens. Maybe we can pull ahead by some miracle. So yeah, we are doing some quests here in the Shimmering Flats again, just grinding it up. Pretty straightforward stuff, and since we were so ahead from everyone else besides the hunter, we are also no problem tagging and getting mobs here. Yeah, again, it was super fun, especially like since I've been playing on Elysium so much recently, and things can get a bit grindy and tedious. I guess they are also grindy here, but you make so much progress, and it's just such a contrast to the vanilla experience, and well, just some goofy fun, I guess. So yeah, almost done in the Shimmering Flats. By that point, I think there were still around like 360 people on. Again, it's really not much, and I don't see that much hope for the server, to be honest. Like, I guess Feenix really just has not the best, well, image at the moment. So with all the competition going on regarding Wrath of the Lich King servers, especially also Gamer District is also high rates, and I think people will settle with that. But it was a fresh server, and so I always like just fresh servers. I think like starting out new is just really fun, especially if it goes as fast like this and you really know, okay, you can go from 1 to 80 in one sitting. I think in the end it took me around like 7 hours and 30 minutes, which is an okay time, but which could have been much better. Like especially the mistakes at the start you were able to see already, and some, well, not so nice community members, I guess. But doesn't matter. We were around level 39 by that point, and I was like, okay, let's jump right to Tanaris. I really wanted to minimize the traveling time. I wanted to basically pull and weave the quest areas together. That's why I did go to Tanaris, but it also meant that we had to do some grinding, but it went pretty fast. I'm still shooting with my level 1 bow here, which is also like an issue. I think that in the end that also did cost us a lot of time. That and the like not getting a mount, I think were some of the more game breaking moments for me, I guess. So yeah, I'm still trying to get to level 40 so we can accept some more quests here. And after that, Tanaris was pretty much super worth it. Like the Pirates Kill quest lines, they provide you with so many EXP. Basically, you always have those short try moments, or like yeah, spans of time where you really are not making any progress, and then you have like 4 to 5 quests which just catapult you really, really far away. And so we were still able to stay ahead. Besides the hunter, again, he was just like doing a magnificent job throughout the whole game. And yeah, so we were pretty much the only person in Tanaris here. Very easy, very grindy kill quests, not that big of a deal. I was already thinking about, okay, where to go. Ongoro, I guess, would have been a good choice, since it's pretty near and you also don't spend that much time traveling. And again, the nice thing about the server was also that all of the flying points, like the flight paths, were explored, so you could just use anything you wanted. So that was also a nice thing, I guess. Made it very convenient, made it very easy to just get ahead. So since on the last, I think on the 1 to 80 run on Gamer District a few weeks back, I went for the Hinterlands, and I was super satisfied with the Hinterlands because the quests there just it's so many EXP and they are pretty easy to do. They don't require any luck. Here I'm going for Scorpion Sting, very high level, but we managed to pull him out, so ton of EXP from that guy as well. So yeah, as a hunter it's just so easy, like Feign Death, pet, really you don't need any equipment. I still went for a few treasure chests here and there, just in the hopes to get a better weapon. Unfortunately we didn't get any, so yeah, we really dealt less and less damage over time. But I was like, okay, yeah, let's just go to Hinterlands, because in Hinterlands there's also like a quest line which allows you to get a nice bow, and just overall I really like this questing zone. And by this point the hunter was steadily pulling ahead. I was just like 45 at this point, and he was, I think, already like 52. And so again, I was pretty demotivated in the regards of making it to the server first, but I still was like, hey, maybe we can still go for a level, like for a second place or something like that. So here you can see me taking a huge risk by not going to Un'Goro or like finishing Tanaris and going to Un'Goro then, and basically just going straight to the Hinterlands. In the end, I'm not too sure if it was worth it. I think it could have been, but I did a mistake in the Hinterlands, which I'm going to address when we come to it. But yeah, it's just such a nice questing area, and I knew it would be my last in Azeroth, at least. Like, I knew after Hinterlands I would be able to go straight to the well, to the TPC content, to Hellfire Peninsula. And here you can see me just picking up a few more spells, just because I really had a lack of damage at that point. Like, my white damage was super low, and I was just trying to maybe get some magical damage at least. You can see me tapping out here and there, and like waiting, maybe taking a break, going for something to drink, or just going well, to the toilet or something like that. So you should use downtimes like this basically if you are really into it, if you are really into speedrunning. Again, don't take this too serious. Like, this was just for me to see, okay, how well we would be able to do. And I'm not like try-harding this by any means. But still, like, there were a few things where I was like, damn it, could have done that so much better. And I was a bit sad, like, or a bit disappointed by myself for making some mistakes that in actuality could have been avoided. So here we go into the village with yeah, some amazing quest lines, and also like pretty easy to do ones. At that point there were actually a few people that almost like pulled ahead with me. I think you are like, can see a paladin, like a paladin duo. Basically I think they leveled the whole way, which is quite amazing. They probably were able to do quests real quick. They maybe aimed for kill quests and just shared them, because then again you don't really share, like you can do the quest just twice as fast. So was a bit amazed by that, to be honest, that there was like a couple questing. So yeah, what I was going to say, there were a few people now that actually pulled ahead with me. And I was already getting nervous, like I was, okay, I probably can't get to T Hunter, since I think by that point he was almost at TPC content. But I was like, okay, I really would like at least to get like second place. At least, like, as a hunter, it would be a shame, I guess, to fall even more behind. Especially since this other hunter basically showed me how well you could do in actuality. So yeah, here we go for some quests in the Hinterlands. I think it was still the right call to do them. Like, the traveling time, it was a huge downtime. It was like, I think, around 7 to 8 minutes to even get there. And maybe just finishing Tanaris and going to Un'Goro straight away might have been the better choice. But in the end, there were also a few people in Un'Goro already. Like, I checked it, and this is, in the end, this is still a PvP server. And you still have the chance of getting ambushed. So yeah, I'm still okay with Hinterlands. We also got a drop from this chicken right here. I didn't do the escort quest, but it was still a lot of EXP that we got by just completing that. And so yeah, we are going for some grindy quests right here. And my main goal was of course the Troll Ruins, like one of my favorite quest zones in the game. And yeah, so we went for that. And this is just so much EXP, and I guess I can address it already. Basically, what happened while we were doing this, we were already gaining a lot of levels by just grinding those enemy mobs, which wouldn't have been that big of a deal since the quest range is like the level range from those quests is pretty huge, which means that even though you outlevel them while you do them, you can get good EXP there. The thing is, there are like quests that basically are level 42, 43, and then the ones that are around 50. So yeah, I guess I will show you the mistake when we get to it, but for now let's just focus on the camp here. Almost dying here and there. There were a few, like in this whole leveling experience, there were a few points where I really was very, very close to dying. A lot of the times we were able to maintain the uptime just by leveling up, since, well, by grinding, as you can see, we are getting also some good EXP. By the way, grinding I wouldn't recommend, like on such high rates it might seem very desirable, but yeah, questing is just the way to go, I think, because like 20 times EXP from quests, it's insane. Like you get so much, you get just almost 2 levels from completing a quest, and this would also always be the way to go, I guess. So the nice thing is, since we are going ahead here and already collecting a lot of the pots and just collecting quest items and grinding, like the 2 paladins I was talking earlier about, they basically were right behind us, and I think, like if I recall correctly, they had some issues with collecting the pots themselves then. So I guess that was also nice that we were able to get it first. I think they are joining me around here, and at this point they were like, please invite us, and I mean, yeah, of course we invited them. Like, I'm not a total asshole, and again, this was just for fun. Like, there's no need to basically trying to sabotage anyone or like to ruin the fun of anyone else. In my opinion, at least, there are some people that are very competitive, but I guess I can already like, one nice thing is like the one hunt that didn't want to invite us earlier, like he was so far behind by that point. I was, I think, 10 levels ahead or something, so that's pretty, that at least gave me some satisfaction, I guess. But yeah, doing the quests right here, also encountering a rare mob, and by that point I knew, okay, I'm level 54 already, just by like completing the quest up there and some other stuff, and here's where I did a huge mistake, probably my biggest one in the whole let's play. So I was talking earlier about the different kind of, well, quest ranges, level ranges, and the thing here was that I basically handed in the higher ones first, which was a huge mistake, because I mean, it was nice that those one gave me a lot of EXP, but they gave me too much, which means I had like 8 or 9 quests complete by that point, which was just too much. Like, I'm level 58 right now, and I just out-leveled those other quests by such a margin that they almost gave me nothing here. Like, I'm 58 now, you can see over there my EXP bar, and now I'm handing in like the level 40 ones, and they just, yeah. And I think basically what I could have done better is just handing in the lower ones, and then maybe heading over to the higher ones. So yeah, was pretty frustrated by that point, because I was so stupid to do that mistake. I tried to unstuck here to get back to Orgrimmar, like basically back to the starting leveling zone, the Valley of Trials, in order to get to Orgrimmar faster, maybe even picking up my mount on the Ascension Village. But we weren't able to do that, so I just have to ride back here to Undercity, and then ultimately taking the Zeppelin back to Orgrimmar. which might have been also a mistake. I'm not too sure. Like we are going to take the portal from there, but maybe we could have just, since all of the flying paths are explored, maybe we could have just like could have flown to the Badlands, not Badlands, like to the Dark Portal basically. So I think I took a pretty huge, well, I didn't take the perfect path here, at least I think. Might have not have mattered that much, and I also get a lot of disconnects here, which I think might have been even on my part. Like I didn't see anyone complain in World Chat or something like that. So yeah, I'm not too sure. So here we go into TPC content. I think the hunter that was ahead of us was around level 65 by that point. So, no, 62, I think I just spotted it. So, yeah, we were getting a bit closer, I think, but in the end, like, if he would play his cards right and if he wouldn't do any more mistakes, then, yeah, we would probably have no chance. But the good news was that I was pulling ahead out of anyone below us, basically. There were a few level 57 ones, I think, but the Hinterlands quest line basically allowed us to get a good start. Or get a bit ahead, but there were too many quests. Like, I guess that's a tip I could give you. Hinterlands is great, but as you were able to see, I just out-leveled them so hard, and it wasn't even worth it to do all of them, I guess. Maybe I should have went straight for the troll area and could have saved a lot of time that way. So yeah, here just basic TPC questing, I guess. That's a nice thing about the upcoming quest zones. It's very straightforward. Here's, I think it's a bug or something, I'm not too sure. There's like this huge guard who basically insta-kills us. I can't remember him like to be in the game back in the day or like on any other private server, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, in the end I still was like, okay, maybe we can still do this quest by just being really careful about it. Pulling from the side. First I thought it would be a rare mob or something that I wouldn't have that much to be afraid of there. But yeah, in the end we were still able to do the quest, like killing the portals there. Again, questing XP and like the experience for me at least was a pretty good one. I didn't encounter too many bugs. But yeah, it doesn't say much. Like, since it's almost like from 1 to 80 you basically do around, I don't even know, maybe 100 quests even. I'm not too sure if you'd even do 100. But the nice thing about the upcoming quest hubs is that, well, those are quest hubs actually. Like, I think in vanilla you always have to be careful about what you choose, since a lot of the time you end up, well, having to go from point A to point B over a really long time. But in this case it was actually not that bad. The quest hubs allow you to, well, get 3 to 4 quests in a really fast way, and of course questing is the way to go again, and that's why we were able to get some good progress here. By this point I was like, okay, like the paladins were pulling ahead a bit, since they had the riding skill. They also have the crusader buff, so yeah, they were able to have a huge movement speed increase, and it did show. Like, by that point they were around, I think, level 62 or something. Right here I'm checking right now, and yeah, the other hunter is level 70 already, and I'm like at level 64 here. I was like, okay, we probably only have to do one more quest hub, and that would be around the Stonebreaker hold, sorry. And yeah, so that's what I did. I did a few kill and collect quests around that area. So yeah, to just point out a few more things. Again, like, getting a mount was probably one of my biggest mistake. Like, to not get a mount, because by that point, like, the paladin and even a warrior, and I have to like really applaud this guy for this. Like, there was a warrior that always was like 2 or 3 levels behind us, and I'm not too sure how he did it, but he also like managed to get, I think, even a high level mount, like a 100 speed mount. And as we progress here in this run, he basically was able to get closer and closer. Like, it was really insane. Like, as a warrior, you would imagine that a warrior would have a really hard time. I mean, it's not as bad to level in Wrath of Lich King as in vanilla, of course, no question about that, but still, like, it's a very weapon dependent class, and I'm not too sure. Like, apparently he had some good thinking, he had some well thought out line of movement he would go, or like quests he would like to go for, in order to basically get some weapons, like some quest weapons or something like that. At least that's the only thing I can imagine, because yeah, otherwise it would be just insane. And he was like a really hard competitor for the second place in the end. Again, I don't want to spoil anything here, but yeah, I think by that point it's rather clear that we probably won't get the hunter anymore, and I really was like, okay, let us at least get the second place on this race to 80. So yeah, doing some more kill and collect quests around that area. Pretty straightforward stuff. The thing is, I'm not too experienced when it comes to like choosing the best quests, like in terms of the most efficient ones when it comes to EXP, when it comes to time, and that's why it was just more of a feeling that I had. Okay, now let's maybe do those quests, because in my mind I have, I think, a good memory of different quests in World of Warcraft, but in the end, like, I wouldn't know, okay, like, about efficiency, if there's something too good, if there's something too bad. But I think I learned a lot from this run, to be honest. Like, I think there will be a few quests that I probably wouldn't do the other time around, if I would ever attempt something like this again. And thanks to those quests, we already are level 68, so this is the time when I was like, okay, let's maybe get a few things inside the bank here, and get a few more spells, since otherwise I think I would have been in pretty big trouble with killing the mobs in the Wrath of the Lich King content. Just because, like, the nice thing was we were able to get a bow at least from the Hinterlands questline, but by that point that was way out of date as well. So yeah, waiting a bit here again. I think like a lot of little things added up in the end, like waiting for Zeppelin here and there, like getting killed on spots that you didn't have to get killed, basically didn't get a group invite when it was crucial. Also, just it was a mix of doing little mistakes, of maybe not choosing the optimal road, especially like the long flight from Tanaris to Hinterlands. Again, I really liked this spot, but maybe there were just too many quests there and it was not worth it to like go all the way there. So yeah, here we are already in Wrath of the Lich King content. I think all of the quests pretty much worked flawlessly, which was a very nice thing to see. Again, don't take my word too much for it. It's just like a few quests. Like, I think I did like 1, maybe 2% of the quests in World of Warcraft overall. So I guess you can't really say how well everything is scripted. But yeah, this was pretty nice. Like, the hunter was way ahead, and by that point I was getting a bit afraid because the warrior and the paladin just skyrocketed. Like, they were super close behind me basically. I think you already were able to spot like the paladin over there, and I was like really afraid that I would lose my, like, the gap that I had at this point between them. And so yeah, just doing a few of the quests right here and like to get a better bow, and that also increased my leveling speed by a bunch. From time to time I'm like making a /who, and there's Quist. Like, Quist was the guy who was basically the hunter. I think at that point he was already like level 76, and he was like, hey, you are catching up, and I was still like, yeah, but to no avail, like no chance catching up to you, I guess, because again, this guy just didn't do any mistakes, I guess. Would have been interesting to see if there, like, I guess he also told me later that he did some mistakes, and maybe it just, in comparison, we would have done a lot of things worse. Like if there would have been a really dedicated, try-hard speedrunner, I guess by that point, like when I'm level 72, I think right now, no, level 70 actually, I could imagine that by this point I would actually be level 80 already. Like it's just super casual my attempt here. Like I didn't really think much about it. Again, I just did it for the fun. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're really into this and if you want an optimal road, then yeah, you probably could do a lot better. So yeah, almost done with the starting quests around that area. Pretty straightforward kill and collect quests overall, I guess. Struggled a bit in the end there to get the last egg, but there we go. And yeah, with that we are on the way to our next quest hub. And I think that was one of the first bugs I encountered, like in a quest with the phasing. But yeah, I'm going to talk about it when we get there. Also, like, again, little things like this where you just wait, like it all adds up in the end. Some of the stuff you just can't influence, I guess, like with Zeppelins and a bunch of like other things along the road, especially like when it comes to traveling. But a lot of the stuff I was able to influence, and I just did mistakes, basically. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. So yeah, doing another quest hub right here. I think that was a good thing, because those quests are pretty straightforward. Just a few kill and collect quests overall, and yeah, very easy. He was level 77 by that point, I think, and yeah, we are still level 71. So yeah, I already said goodbye to my to my level 81st realm first attempt by that point, and spoilers, we won't get it, but like the race for the second place will become very intense, and I guess you can stay tuned for that. So yeah, level 73 already. Again, just there are those points where you collect a bunch of quests, and yeah, you just get a really good start. And by this point the warrior was like on his way. Like he was also level 73, and I was like super panicky by that point. Maybe also did some mistakes in choosing some of the quests that took too long, maybe. But I was like very afraid to lose my second place to that warrior at that point. So, but I still try to stay focused here. I still try to just do my thing, just try to do the quests. I mean, again, it's a hunter. It's not really, you don't have to be that dedicated, I guess. You don't have to be that consecrated. And I also started this quest right here, which also was a mistake, I think. That is, by the way, this is not a bugged quest. That works pretty well, actually. Was pleasantly surprised by that. But it just took too long, and I was like, okay, let's just ditch that. Let's ride a bit ahead, and let's just go for those quests right here, because those quests are also like pretty efficient in terms of time needed and XP gained. And so we did a bit of questing here. I was about to do another one, which is like the follow-up quest, which is just a single kill and collect quest. And I was like super looking forward to that. And I think then it happened right here. We basically got ambushed by the warrior, which was competing with us, which is like super unlucky, or I guess maybe he even planned it to do. Maybe he was looking for me, but I think he just also was trying to get ahead. And I mean, it's a PvP server, I don't blame him. Just totally fine of him killing me there. But yeah, he basically gets the quest that I was about to do, which is almost like another half a level. And I basically can't wait for the respawn, and I can't risk it that he would kill me again around that area. So I'm just ditching that one, unfortunately, which by that point basically gave him like basically a level, because he gained half a level and I lost half a level from that. So I was already like, shit, this is not good. And like full warrior, really heads off to this guy. Was pretty amazing how well he did there. And yeah, in the end, at that spot simply got the better of me. So yeah, I'm I'm currently doing a bit more of those quest hub quests. Like, again, those are the best, where you basically just have to kill a bunch of stuff in a really concentrated area, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And it's going pretty well, actually. Like, I feel rather good about myself. I think, yeah, I think we are getting some good progress. And then I'm also attempting like another quest right here, which unfortunately is bugged out. Like, the phasing does not work. There's no one around that area. Maybe my hunter, like the one that always pulled ahead of me, was doing that right before. So I was a bit afraid that it just wouldn't work, or like the respawn time would be too long, and also ditching that one. And those two ditches also did cost me a lot of time. And right now I'm just like super nervous to lose the second place to the warrior, because I think he was like 74 at that point. We are 75 or 73. I can't really see it right now, to be honest, but I think we are 75. So yeah, we are doing, like, this is also one of the quests that I probably shouldn't have done. Like, I thought, okay, killing like 10 enemies real quick. I was remembering this quest. I was like, yeah, this should be fine and easy. But there are just too many mobs around that area. Just too much stuff going on. That I also like. I really didn't want to grind any of those guys. I really just want to go for the Tanaris, and I just couldn't. I remembered also there was like a follow-up quest, which would be about like just dropping something in a pot. That's why I also did that quest. But in the end, I think it wasn't worth it. Like, it took way too long. So, but I'm doing the follow-up here, which in the end at least made it somewhat worth it, I guess. And after that I was like, okay, I'm not into that, like around that area. You can see there, there's like this whole gnome questing area, and I remembered that, and if I remembered correctly, there's really not much you can do there. Well, like at least not really efficient quests you can do there. So I'm really just heading over to Ekmar's Hammer in Dragonblight, just hoping to get one of like the best quest hubs, or like one of a few of those quest hubs which are really well worth it. And yeah, so I tried to go around the spider village, also like underground, and I think that was a good choice, actually. I think I'm rather okay with that. I think that was a good idea. But by that point, I think the warrior was already like 77, and I'm like sitting still at level 76 here. So yeah, I was already like, shit. Probably not even getting the second place. And the hunter, I think, was still 79. No, level 80. There, I checked it. I think around that point he was like 80. So first place goes to the hunter at that point. Just really good run from him, I guess. And we are still sitting here, level 76. 4 levels sounds like a lot, but actually, like, with a few minor improvements here and there, and just, I guess the long ride to Hinterlands, the mistakes in giving in the quests in Hinterlands, and the one thing where we had to wait like 5 to 7 minutes for another sharp talent spawn. For once, like, we didn't get it because we died, because of a mistake, and then of course because we didn't get invited. So yeah, those were probably the hugest time-consuming things, and yeah, but in the end, yeah, not much to do. Here's something where I was like, okay, shit. Like, a lot of the quests in Storm Peaks you need a flying mount for them, basically. And I'm just like, okay, shit, I think I'm out-leveling my level area in Dragonblight too much right now. And I think I have to make another pause here real quick. So the situation is the following. The warrior is level 79, we are level 78, and I saw him in the Shadowzipper basin, and I think it was a perfect choice, and I really would have liked to go to the Shadowzipper basin as well, but I didn't want to risk running into him again, dying to him again, because I think he had a lot of better items, and just overall, like, if he ambushes me, there's not much I can do. And So I was like, okay, maybe still like go to Storm Peaks. And I think this was a pretty big mistake in the end, though. Like, again, by that point you really level a lot by just questing, and I should have just like kept questing in the lower areas, because those enemies right here, they really hurt, and they took way longer than the earlier questing areas. So by that point, I think the warrior is about to hit 80. I'm like, shit, at least give me the third place. And by that point there was even a paladin getting closer and closer, just because I fucked up with this questing area right here. I shouldn't have gone to the Storm Peaks, because although I outleveled the mobs there, the quest in Dragonblight still give around 400,000 EXP, and the quests here give around 430,000, which is, it's just not that worth it, to be honest. Like, you get a few more XP by killing also enemies and stuff like that, but it's also a lot harder. And as you can see, almost dying here again. It's a lot harder. And I'm even getting like another disconnect there, and just things are collapsing. I'm super paranoid. I'm super like I'm pretty much freaking out at that point. Like, because the warrior already pulled ahead of me, and I was like, shit, if the paladin makes it now as well, then this is just a huge fail. And like 4th place would have broken me, I guess. And so I really tried to at least get another mistake there. In the end I just panicked. I was also like losing my concentration. We are 7 hours in. I know it's not a lot, and a lot of speedrunners or like people that are go for stuff like this on ×1 rates have a lot more to do, but still it kind of wore on me, especially again since the paladin was so close. And here at level 79 I was like, shit, it's actually so easy to level up by just doing quests. I probably should have just stayed in the quest hub in the starting area. It was such a huge mistake to come here, because like killing enemies just takes so much longer to kill, to do. And like the paladin is also level 79 right now, and I'm just freaking out. And I'm like, okay, sending my pet in. I need that one last quest right here, and at least I'm able to do it. And now I'm frequently updating my quest, like my /who updating. Okay, is the paladin's 80 already? And I even get killed there one more time, but then it happened. I'm handing in the last 2 quests, level 80. You can see it down there, I guess. Yeah, so I think I make another quick /who, and as you can see, at least the paladin is still level 79. But I almost butchered my 3rd place as well. So yeah, in conclusion, we were able to get the 3rd place in my server first attempt. I think we got out leveled by the first guy by like 20 minutes, which is okay for me. Like, again, I just did it for fun, and I know where I did mistakes, and I guess next time I could do a lot better. I think I also will do a quick /played right here, so you can see 7 hours 42 minutes. I guess it's like very easy to do this in about 7 hours, I would argue. Like, if everything's okay and if you don't do like the mistakes that I did, then it should be very easy. Like at times 20 rates, it just should be really not that hard to do. So but yeah, in the end, super fun experience. I still was quite glad with my 3rd place. And I'm not too sure if I'm going to play on this server in the future, to be honest. I mean, I guess it will depend on the population. It's already pretty abysmal. Feenix is just not the most popular server right now. I can't stress it out enough, like the stuff that they did. And well, the competition, I guess, is also just too huge. Like, if it would have been a TPC server, I guess they already have one, I know, but I'm trying to say here, like, Rough Lich King is just very competitive right now in terms of other servers. So yeah, good music to end this video, I guess. Nice and chill tune. Great soundtrack, by the way, from Chrono Trigger. But I'm currently thinking about what else is there to say. I guess not that much. But just a great experience again. Funny, goofy stuff, I guess. And well, if you ever attempt to do something like this, then just maybe plan a bit ahead, like about the areas you would like to go. I mean, if you're a super tryhard, you also know like the best, the most efficient quests you can go for, I guess, which I just didn't do. But yeah, unfortunately there was also like no really achievement, like nothing popped on the server when the hunter got to 80, for example. I guess you have to do the run on ×1 if you want to actually get the achievement, which is also makes sense, I guess. But yeah, this was like a really fun experience. I wish the server the best, I guess, but well, just about 300 people online at launch day is I guess that's not enough, to be honest. I think the server will die out rather soon. But yeah, in conclusion, also, quest worked so far. I can't really say that much about the raiding experience and dungeons, of course, since, well, we just run through 80 and didn't do much else. But yeah, maybe give it a try. Like, it's, as you can see, about 7 hours and you are level 80, so it's really not that big of a time investment. For 7 hours you maybe get half a level in vanilla World of Warcraft. But yeah, I would invite you to maybe try it, but I guess if you are not really into the staff of Feenix and the stuff that they did and the cash, I think there will even be a cash shop, which also is like a pretty big no-go for me. So yeah, you have to decide it for yourself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, thumbs up would be very much appreciated. And yeah, maybe I will do this again in the future, maybe on another server, probably only on a high rate server though, and hopefully I can improve this time. But until then, thank you very much for watching, stay awesome, and bye.